Okay, let's get into it. Applying for technical jobs, especially in areas like Node.js, it really demands a specific kind of approach, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
It's about knowing how to present yourself effectively.
Right. So this discussion is really aimed at giving you that edge. We're trying to pull out the essential knowledge you need for, crafting a resume that stands out and nailing those technical interviews.
Exactly. Think of it as getting you prepared faster, whether you're just starting out or maybe looking to move up.
Cutting through the noise, focusing on showing actual skills.
That's the goal, not just a laundry list of tech you've touched once.
So let's start with the resume then. What makes it really pop for a technical role?
Well, the big thing is specificity. You can't just say databases. You need to list the actual ones, like MongoDB, PostgreSQL.
Okay.
And for Node.js itself, don't just list Node.js. Mention concepts. You really get asynchronous programming, maybe the event loop, streams.
Makes sense. What about tools?
Yeah, definitely list the tools. Things like Docker, AWS, perhaps PM2.
Yeah.
Naming them shows you understand the ecosystem, not just the core language.
And I gather it's really important to go beyond just listing what you did,
Right.
to actually quantify things.
Oh, absolutely crucial. Quantifying turns a vague statement into solid proof. So instead of just improved application performance,
You'd say something like,
improved API response time by 30% by implementing caching. Or show scale, like handled, say, 10,000 concurrent users using load balancing.
okay, that's concrete.
Or detail the architecture, maybe build real-time chat features using WebSockets. Numbers and specifics, they demonstrate real impact.
Showing the result, not just the task. And what about actually showing your work?
Yes, links are vital, especially public GitHub repos. A clean, well-documented repo, that's basically your portfolio right there.
Essential. And tailoring the resume.
Always. Look at the job description. Pull out keywords like REST API, microservices, promises, if they match your skills, and get them in there. It helps with automated screening and shows you're a good fit.
Okay, that covers the resume well. Let's shift gears to the interview itself. That's a whole different challenge, moving from paper to actually talking and coding.
Totally different. And preparation here means, well, revisiting the fundamentals first. Core JavaScript is key.
Like what specifically?
Things like closures, prototypes, how this keyword works. They seem basic, but they show you understand how JavaScript operates, which is critical for complex Node apps.
Right.
And then, of course, Node.js specifics. Really understand that event loop, different async patterns, callbacks, promises, async await. Know why you'd use each one.
And when you get that coding question, it's not just about getting the right answer.
No, definitely not. You need to talk through your thought process. Explain why you're choosing async await maybe for readability. Explain your data structure choice.
And if the problem isn't clear,
Ask questions. Don't just guess. Asking clarifying questions shows you're methodical and careful, not just rushing to code.
discussing trade-offs too, that seems important.
Hugely important. Almost every solution has pros and cons. Be ready to talk about them. Performance versus readability, or maybe why you'd pick one database type over another for a specific scenario, consistency versus availability, that kind of thing.
It shows engineering maturity.
Exactly. It shows you think beyond just making it work.
What about those non-coding questions, the behavioral ones?
Yeah, they're very common. Best way to prep is to think back on your experiences. Teamwork examples, how you handled a tough challenge or a mistake. Using something like the STAR method situation, task, action, result, can help structure your answers clearly.
Good tip. And asking questions back.
Definitely prepare some thoughtful questions for them. Ask about the team, the biggest challenges in the role, maybe the company culture or their technical roadmap. Shows you're engaged and genuinely interested.
And what if you just don't know the answer to something technical?
Honesty is the best policy. It's okay to say, I'm not sure about that specific detail, but then critically explain how you would find the answer.
Like checking docs or searching specific resources.
Precisely. It shows resourcefulness and that you know how to learn, which is vital.
Okay, one last point. The code itself, even in an interview.
Right. Clarity matters. Whether you're at a whiteboard or using an online editor, write clean, readable code. Use meaningful variable names, maybe a brief comment where needed. Keep the structure logical. It just shows professionalism.
So pulling this all together, being strong technically, both on paper and in person, really boils down to clarity, being specific, and showing you understand things deeply, not just syntax.
Yeah, it's about demonstrating how you think and solve problems, not just listing what you've done. You're painting a picture of yourself as a capable engineer.
Which brings up a really interesting point to consider. In this tech world that changes so fast, how does continually sharpening these core skills, these fundamentals, and practicing how you communicate them, how does that remain the central strategy for becoming not just a good coder, but really seen as an expert engineer?